Hello everyone, this is Dinkar Divagaran, founder softwaresforever.com. This video I'm talking about the basics of project execution, monitoring and control. So the project execution, monitoring and control comes under the third and the fourth stages of project management life cycle. So what is project execution? The project execution consists of those processes performed to complete the work defined in the project management plan to satisfy the project specifications. This process involves coordinating people and resources, managing stakeholder expectations, as well as integrating and performing the activity of the project in accordance with the project management plan. In the last video, we learned about project planning. So the project planning is an activity where we plan all the project deliverables and what all the task needs to be executed to complete that project. So we made the plan in the project planning. So the next phase is the project execution. And when we execute, we have to monitor and control the execution, right? So here we are talking about the project execution, monitoring and control. Yes, in the last video, I gave you an example of home construction. So in the planning stage, we identified what all is required for the home construction, house construction. So you required a resource, you required a material. You should plan like what all the stages the construction will happen. So that planning is done. Now is in the execution stage. Execution stage, we have to procure the material. We have to allot task to the resources, and you have to monitor and control the each phases of the construction. So here we'll see how we can successfully execute a plan. In the last stage, it's the planning stage. In the planning stage, we prepared a plan which is useful for us to execute this project. So in the execution stage, we will execute the plan. As per the plan, that all the deliverables should be completed. So we will see the status, okay, how everything is executing, and is there an issue or risk while executing. We'll identify that, and we'll use some tools like reminders to like if the task is due, so we should get reminder. We may use the automation or the workflows for executing some task, and we'll use some alerts, like if something happens or some changes is happening, so we should get some alerts. So all these tools we will use in this execution stage. And in the monitoring stage, we will see like, okay, it is going as per the plan or not. Okay, so we will identify everything in the status report, and we'll communicate with the stakeholders, and we will identify all the issue, risk, and if there is any change is required, that also we'll identify. Okay, we will keep the record in the issue or the risk register, and we'll use the tools to identify the variance, like if there's a schedule is like going above the planned schedule, so that we have to see. And if the budget is like going above the budget, then we have to see the cost variance. And the scope is increasing, we have to identify the scope changes. And if there is any additional resources required, that also we should see in the resource variance. Then in the control stage, we'll try to control all the activities as per the plan, and we will perform all the corrective measures to get the project on track. So here we will communicate with the stakeholder by submitting the status. Means we will create the status report and submit it, and we will track the issue, risk, and the changes. And we will control, like if there is any schedule variance is there, then we will try to extend the time, or we will if that much time is not required to complete that task, then we will reduce the schedule. If more resources required, we will add resource, or means we will reallocate the resources. If there is any changes in the budget, maybe if we have to increase the budget, we should increase the budget. And is there any scope changes that needs to be considered, then we have to replan and re-execute the project. So all these things happens in the execution, monitoring and control stages of the project. In this slide we will see like how to monitor daily progress. So every project will be having a start and the end. So in between, what all the progress is there that we have to monitor. So the progress is a forward movement towards destination. So what we are trying to achieve here is like we have to identify where we are now. That means the actual progress, and where should we be now means expected progress. It's the goal. Where we are now and what is expected, there is no difference. So that means everything is going as per the planned process, or the as per the process, as per the plan. So if there is any difference, if there is any variance, we have to see like, okay, what difference is there? Is it a time schedule variance is there, or it's like we have planned to complete it in 6 months, but it is taking more time? Or is it a cost overrun, or your budget is the means the cost overrun means it will affect the budget, right? It's the budget only. Like the scope of deliverable is increased, or is there anything like any additional scope is added? Is there any change in the plan? And is there any resource needs to be added or it needs to be reduced? So everything we have to monitor. And how to monitor this daily? Like you have to set an interval, like when you are going to monitor this, and how you are going to collect the data. Is it by using software tools, or uh, getting the data from your team members by reports? And you have to evaluate everything, and you have to adjust or renegotiate on the plan and execute it. So how to monitor and control project? So for that, like you may be required a daily stand-up meeting to identify any shortfalls, or is there anything like lagging. Maybe it is not going as per the plan, then you can identify that in the stand-up meeting. So, and individual catch-ups with the team, collaborative contributions to issues and the risk registers. Like you can ask all the team members to update the risk register if they find any issue or the risk, and timely completion of the timesheets, timely updates on task, and weekly status report. So what is included in the status report? So what happened means what all is done, and what coming up means what is next things you have to do, and what is the actual status. Okay, is it what is planned and what is the actual? Is it as per the plan or not? What is the forecast? Is there any delay, or we will be completing it on time? Highlight the issues, risk and changes. If there is any issue, risk or the changes, you have to highlight that. And key messages to stakeholders. Like if there is any important message which needs to be passed on to the stakeholders, that also needs to be included in the status report. So when you have all this information in the status report, it will be easy for you to convey, and also you can identify like what are the shortfalls and are we on track or not. Hope you understood the basics of project execution, monitoring and control. We will see you in the next video on the project closure. Till then,